Hey guys and gals, it's Trevor again. So Stormboys are cool and everything, but I want something a little more unique. To achieve this, we're first gonna need some Space Marines with jump packs. And as it turns out, this Death Company kit is actually slightly cheaper than the standard Assault Squad kit. And you know I love cheaper. Now my friend Brendan wanted some of the exclusive Blood Angels bits and bobs from this kit, so I did a bit of swapping with him. And after all that, I cobbled together enough parts to make 5 Space Marines with jump packs. So I want to make our first Marine look like he's falling down. So I sanded down the connection points of his arms at an angle, and then I glued them onto his torso to make him look more splayed out. Now we're gonna grab another arm with an open hand that's usually meant for supporting the Marine's bolters, chop off the hand, chop off the sword hand of our Marine, sand down the wrist to make it nice and flat, grab the open hand and cut off the thumb, plastic glue the open hand onto the wrist, and then glue the thumb onto the side of the hand to form an open palm. Now we're gonna cut off his gun hand, sand down the connection points, and then we're gonna plastic glue this hand facing a bit more down. And would you look at that, now he looks like he's trying to break his fall. So now we're gonna grab an orc from our Orc Boys kit, and we're just gonna glue him onto the back of our Marine. The circle of life. Now this Marine's facial expression still looks a bit too angry, but don't you worry, we can fix that. So we're just gonna widen the portion of his eyes closest to the center of his face. There, I think that looks much more appropriate. For our second Marine, we're gonna grab another arm meant for supporting the Marine's bolters, chop off the hand, sand down the wrist, and then we're gonna use plastic glue to reattach the hand with the palm facing slightly outwards. Now we're gonna grab one of the arms holding pistols, cut off this friendship bracelet, cut off the gun, clean up any bits we left behind, and then we're gonna cut the arm up at the wrist and the elbow. After sanding all the connection points, we're gonna rebuild the arm with the elbow facing slightly inwards. Now when we assemble our Marine, you can see that his hands look like they're being pulled together at the wrist. Now let's grab an orc, cut off his sword hand, remove the blade and handle of his chopper, sand down his wrist, and reattach the hand with the palm facing downwards. Now we're gonna glue him onto the top of his new trusty steed. Now we're gonna get some milliput, roll it out into a long rope, drill a hole into either side of the orc's fist, and then we're gonna very carefully use our milliput rope to tie up the Marine's hands. Once that's done, we're gonna grab the ends of the rope and glue them into the holes we drilled into the orc's fist. Good day, sir. Are you schooled in the equestrian arts as well? Now for our last 3 Stormboys, I've assembled our Marines pretty much normal. Oh, but I did cut off some of their hands and feet and stuff, and I may have left an arm or 2 dangling a bit. Once they were looking sufficiently sorry for themselves, I plastic glued them onto the orcs' backs. Oh, and I gave this orc a lovely arm to hold. Oh dear, but the owner of the arm doesn't look quite too pleased about it. After that, I rolled out some more milliput ropes, and I used them to tie the Marines to the orcs. I also added little bits of milliput to all the points where the Marines lost appendages. Then I used a clay shaping tool to add a bit of gross fleshy texture. Alright, I think we're looking ready to paint. So I painted the Marines in Ultramarines colors, and I actually painted the orcs green this time. Look at that! Character development. Once everything was painted, I grabbed some blood for the blood god, and I painted this onto all those milliput stumps I added onto the Marines to make it look like they've just had their appendages removed. After that, I glued the orcs onto their bases, and of course I had to give them names, so I named them after some lovely Ultramarines characters. Now let's take a look at our 5 new Stormboys. We've got Leandros, who for some reason doesn't seem to be talking about the Codex Astartes anymore. His comrade Sidonus looking extremely calm and serene. We've got silly Darius, who misplaced his arm and is now trying to get it back. There's clumsy Sergeant Kestis, who appears to have tripped and fallen at a most unfortunate time. And of course, the ever-generous Captain Titus offering a piggyback ride to his newest friend. Honestly, I'm a little surprised at how well these guys turned out, and I'm actually rather proud of how they look. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to help me out more, hang out with me on Discord, you can do all that by supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/TrevorGoesMeep. Alright, I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I'll see you all next time.